People are so complicated that most of us can barely make sense of our own feelings, let alone anyone else's. Yet here we are, 8.15 billion of us, all crammed onto this planet, trying to connect, navigate our differences, and somehow make it work. It's a wild mix of goals, beliefs, and personalities, and not everyone plays fair. Some people? Let's just say they're carrying emotional knives, but we'll save that for later. And when I talk about relationships, I'm talking about all of them. Friends, family, coworkers, and yes, those messy romantic ones too. Today we're diving into the truth about human connections, spotting the red flags you've been brushing off, and learning how to guard your peace. I wish someone told me about them when I was younger. If you're ready to get real about the relationships in your life, hit that subscribe button, because this one's for you. 1. Relationships are messy, and people are even messier. People are complex creatures. We carry our baggage, childhood traumas, insecurities, and learned behaviors into every relationship we form. When two people come together, it's not just them, it's everything they've been through. This creates a dynamic that's as messy as it is beautiful. But here's the truth. Not all relationships are meant to last, and not all are worth the struggle. If a relationship feels like a constant uphill battle where you're the only one putting in effort, it's not mutual. It's draining. Relationships should feel like a partnership, not an endurance test. 2. Red flags are real, don't ignore them. Red flags are there for a reason. They're warnings that something isn't right. The problem is, most people don't want to see them. In the beginning, when everything feels new and exciting, it's easy to excuse questionable behavior. They're just stressed, or that's just how they are, you tell yourself. But small issues have a way of growing into major problems. Ignoring a red flag today is like ignoring a crack in a dam. It won't hold forever. Pay attention to the patterns of someone's behavior, not their words. Actions reveal character. 3. Manipulation doesn't start with a bang, it creeps in. Manipulation is a slow and sneaky process. It doesn't announce itself loudly. Instead, it works in whispers and subtle nudges, making you question your own thoughts and decisions. At first, it might seem harmless. I don't think your friend respects you, or maybe you shouldn't spend time with them. Over time, those small comments pile up, and before you know it, you're isolated from your support system. That's how manipulation works. It isolates and controls, all while making you believe it's your idea. The key is to trust your instincts. If you feel like something's off, it probably is. 4. Emotional blackmail is not your responsibility. Emotional blackmail is one of the most insidious forms of manipulation. It plays on your empathy and uses your care against you. Statements like, "If you leave me, I'll hurt myself," or "You're the only person who can make me happy," aren't acts of love. They're acts of control. These tactics make you feel like you're responsible for their happiness. But here's the hard truth. You're not. You can't carry someone else's emotional load, and you shouldn't have to. Their well-being is their responsibility, and allowing guilt to dictate your choices will only lead to resentment. 5. You are not their therapist. It's natural to want to support someone you care about, but there's a fine line between being supportive and becoming their emotional caretaker. You can't heal someone's wounds, and it's not your job to try. If someone is dealing with deep personal issues, encourage them to seek professional help. Therapy is a resource they need, not you. Carrying their problems will only weigh you down and drain your energy. You've got your own challenges to face. Don't let someone else's become yours. 6. Protect your ecosystem. Your mental and emotional health are like an ecosystem, and it's your job to protect them. Toxic people are pollution. They poison your environment with negativity, criticism, and control. Over time, their behavior drains your energy, diminishes your confidence, and leaves you feeling stuck. If someone consistently harms your peace, you have every right to cut them off. It's not selfish, it's survival. No one else is responsible for keeping your ecosystem clean. If someone can't respect your boundaries, they don't deserve to be in your life. 7. Communication, the make or break factor. Healthy relationships thrive on open communication. If you can't talk about issues openly, you'll never resolve them. Holding in your frustrations or avoiding tough conversations only builds resentment. Tell them how you feel and what you need. If they're willing to listen and take responsibility, that's a good sign. But if they deflect, blame, or dismiss your concerns, it's time to ask yourself if this is a relationship worth fighting for. Communication isn't just a tool, it's the foundation of respect and trust. Without it, the relationship is doomed. 8. Check yourself too. It's easy to focus on someone else's flaws, but relationships are a two-way street. Are you being critical, avoiding responsibility, or failing to communicate your needs? Take a hard look at your behavior and how it might be contributing to the dynamic. Admitting you're wrong isn't a weakness, it's growth. The only way to build healthy relationships is to start with yourself. Self-awareness is uncomfortable but necessary. Don't shy away from your own flaws, work on them. 9. Sometimes walking away is the best move. Letting go of a relationship feels like giving up, but sometimes it's the healthiest decision you can make. Staying in something toxic doesn't make you strong, it keeps you stuck. If you've communicated your needs, set boundaries, and nothing has changed, it's time to walk away. A good relationship doesn't make you feel anxious, drained, or disrespected. If it does, it's not a relationship. It's a trap. Choosing to leave isn't failure. It's freedom. 10. Boundaries aren't optional. Boundaries are your first line of defense against toxic behavior. They're how you protect your time, energy, and mental health. If someone disrespects your boundaries, they're showing you who they are. Don't ignore it. Saying no isn't rude, it's necessary. Your peace matters more than their feelings. If someone values you, they'll respect your limits. If they don't, it's time to reevaluate their place in your life. 11. Relationships should add to your life, not take from it. The right relationship will make your life better, not harder. It'll uplift you, support you, and bring joy. If someone consistently makes you feel small, stressed, or trapped, they're not adding, they're subtracting. Relationships are meant to complement your life, not consume it. If you're constantly feeling drained or diminished, it's time to step back and ask yourself if it's worth it. The answer is probably no. 12. Ask the tough questions. When a relationship feels off, it's time to ask yourself the hard questions. Do I feel worse after spending time with them? Do they dismiss my boundaries? Have I started avoiding their calls or messages? Do they make me feel dependent or incapable? If the answer to any of these is yes, you need to face the reality of the situation. Denial won't protect you, but action will. 13. Take action. Recognizing a toxic relationship is one thing. Acting on it is another. If you've communicated your concerns and nothing changes, it's time to take a stand. Set boundaries, prioritize your well-being, and, if necessary, walk away. You deserve relationships that uplift you, not ones that drag you down. Choosing yourself over someone's toxicity isn't selfish, it's survival. 14. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Toxic relationships can make you feel isolated, but you're not alone. Reach out to friends, family, or a therapist for support. Talking things out helps you see the situation more clearly and reminds you that you're not powerless. Therapy isn't a last resort. It's a tool for growth. Asking for help isn't weakness. It's strength. The stronger your support system, the easier it is to rebuild your life after cutting ties with toxicity. Bottom line, your happiness and peace are not negotiable. Toxic relationships will drain you, break you, and leave you questioning your worth. The hard truth? You're not obligated to stay in relationships that harm you. Choose yourself, prioritize your peace, build the life you deserve. You are worth it.